morning, America. This is Chet You Betcha, coming at you live with the year 2011. It has been a year filled with natural disaster, political unrest, high-profile deaths, and Charlie Sheen. Follow us on this journey through an impactful and important year.
The 2011 earthquake in Japan was a devastating catastrophe that struck on March 11th at 2:46 p.m. With a magnitude of 9.1 earthquake, this occurred 231 miles northeast of Tokyo, off the Pacific coast of Tokahoku, at a depth of 15.2 miles. The initial occurrence eventually created a 129-foot tsunami, which reached Japan 30 minutes later. This unexpected event was the deadliest of the year and left 15,894 dead, 6,162 injured, 2,562 people missing. The catastrophe damaged several nuclear reactors in the area and is the fourth largest recorded earthquake of all time. The damage caused was so great it took 3 years to rebuild and cost a whopping $30 billion to fix the unfortunate event. 2011 was a year that was also plagued with many high-profile celebrity deaths. The most significant was definitely Apple co-founder and CEO Steve Jobs, who passed away on October 5th. Jobs' career was defined by innovation, making computers accessible to normal people everywhere, and creating groundbreaking and industry-changing devices such as the Macintosh, iPod, and iPhone. Unfortunately, Jobs was diagnosed in 2003 with a cancerous tumor in his pancreas. Despite doctors' recommendations, Jobs denied medical treatment for the cancer for 9 months, opting instead to try to cure the disease himself through dieting and natural remedies. Doctors and researchers agree that this lack of medical care led to an unnecessarily early death. Jobs' passing greatly moved the country, with memorials popping up across the U.S. While the man may have died, his legacy certainly did not, and it still lives on this day. One of the most important events of the year and one of the most defining moments of the Obama presidency was the death of Osama bin Laden. Bin Laden was the infamous founder and head of the terrorist group Al-Qaeda, and was responsible for organizing the September 11th attacks on 2001. These attacks devastated the country, and a manhunt began for bin Laden. This search lasted almost 10 years, but finally, the CIA intelligence led the U.S. to discover bin Laden's compound in Pakistan. Under the cover of night, Navy SEAL Team 6 raided the compound in code name Operation Neptune Spear. They successfully entered the compound, killed bin Laden, and brought his body back to Afghanistan for identification. Bin Laden's death was widely celebrated throughout the U.S. and was one of the most memorable achievements of the Obama administration. On September 17th of 2011, a massive protest movement began in Zuccotti Park, located in New York City's Wall Street financial district. The movement, titled Occupy Wall Street, was a protest of social and economic inequality and wealth distribution in the U.S. Their slogan, "We are the 99%, refers to the distribution of wealth in America between the wealthiest 1% and the rest of the population.
What you see at the nexus of the movement is people talking to each other, discussing, debating about what the agenda should be, about what the ambition of the movement is. And that's the way it should work in a democracy, is that a consensus is reached before the movement moves forward. And I believe we're in that process right now.
The protesters were forced out of the park on November 15th and were monitored by the FBI and DHS as part of their joint terrorism force, despite being classified as a peaceful movement. 2011 was a big year for Charlie Sheen, but in no way was a positive view upon himself. Unfortunately for Charlie Sheen, he was fired from his hit show 2.5 Men, and his meltdown began. It was broadcasted all over the internet and television. Charlie Sheen started stating entertaining yet bizarre statements on television interviews, saying that he was a warlock with tiger blood and contained Adonis DNA.
I have a different brain, I have a different heart, I have a different, I got tiger blood, man.
When asked, is he a bipolar, he responded, I'm bi winning.
Not gonna happen. I'm bi winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Mr. Sheen then began posting YouTube videos of himself smoking cigarettes through his nose and verbally attacking old employees. Charlie's breakdown was caused due to a combination of alcohol and cocaine. During this time, it was his third admission into a substance rehabilitation.
What have you learned? What have I learned? What have we all learned? Thank you all for joining us through this voyage that we called 2011. But most of all, thank you, Antoine Hutchinson.